Coming up on DITV, we tell you all you need to know about Iowa City's March for Our Lives.
And later, we'll show you the road to recovery from eating disorders.
An inside look at men's and women's tennis from over the weekend.
As well as Iowa baseball and Iowa softball squeezing in a game before the weather hit.
Rain is coming after heavy snowfall. Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Monday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere, DITV starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Bo Bowman.
And I'm Becca Scadden. Over the course of the weekend, families and friends of a Creston family received devastating news. The Sharp family of 4 were slated to return from their Mexico vacation last Wednesday. When no one heard from the family, loved ones reported them missing. Mexican officials found the family, Kevin and Amy Sharp, and their 2 children, 12-year-old Wayne and 7-year-old Adriana, dead in their rented condo due to breathing in toxic gas. The bodies of the family have been returned, with the funeral expected to take place later this week.
A national movement to end gun violence was present in Iowa City over the weekend. Local high school and junior high students organized a March for Our Lives protest held Saturday. Hundreds of students, parents, and community members marched through heavy snowfall to demand gun control legislation. Student speakers at the event called for a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, along with more restrictions for gun buyers. They also criticized politicians backed by the National Rifle Association. Hundreds of similar events were held around the country on the same day.
The Envision Iowa party running in the upcoming UISG election has replaced their presidential candidate. On Saturday, the party announced that their initial candidate, Kyle Apple, was stepping down. This was after offensive social media posts written by Apple several years ago surfaced online. Their new candidate is Bridgene Lynch, who was previously running as a senator for Envision Iowa. Lynch said she would enact change on campus by reaching out to smaller student groups and ensuring that their voices are heard. In an interview with DITV, Lynch was asked about what she'll do to better represent her party.
I wouldn't necessarily say we're different, but I do think we're different in the way that we're going to implement these actions. I would never say the things he would have said or he had said in the past, and so that kind of makes us different, is that I'm a little bit more understanding to the students' feelings.
Last night in Shambaugh Auditorium, a presidential debate was held for candidates running for the presidential seat in UISG next year. The 4 candidates, Lynch, Dady Mansoray, Hira Mustafa, and Benjamin Nelson, all spoke about the policies they hope to change, improve, and enact that regard tuition, sexual assault, mental health, and academic policies, and more. Voting begins on March 28th for UISG.
With mere days until the election, we have another party to introduce you to today. As you know, the Daily Iowan has been giving overviews of each party and their platforms.
Today we have Lauren Varell in the studio to give us the introductions.
Thanks, guys. Over the past week, we have been giving you rundowns of each party on the ballot, leaving off with the Envision Iowa on Friday. Today, I'm going to give you an overview of the Surge Party platform. The team is made up of President candidate Hira Mustafa and Vice President candidate Heath Schindler. Hira is a third-year student from West Des Moines, Iowa, studying economics and ethics and public policy. She is a resident assistant, UISG Health and Safety Director, and has also been involved with 12 other campus organizations. Her main goal is to create an inclusive environment between the university and its students. Heath Schindler is from Iowa City, Iowa, and is the president of the Undergraduate Council, Delta Tau Delta fraternity, and has been a Hawkeye guide for the University of Iowa orientation. His main goals are to grow the voice of students and to create an easier access to campus resources. For more information regarding the candidates and their party, visit uisurgeparty.org and stick with DITV as we bring information regarding the last party. Guys, back to you.
The weather was not kind to Iowa City this weekend.
No, not at all, Bo. I was hoping we were done with snow, and now it's starting to melt, but we might be seeing some rain, too.
Let's toss it over to Junior Kim in the weather studio to see if Snowmageddon 2018 is officially over.
Thanks, guys. Heavy snow struck all over the place in Iowa City 2 days ago. You can still see snow on the ground outside. And this week, instead of snowfall, you will mostly see clouds and rainy skies throughout the week. As well as today's afternoon will be rainy after seeing cloudy skies in the morning. The temperatures will reach 37 degrees and later rise to 43 degrees at night with showers. Now let's take a look at our extended forecast. Though clouds will remain in the skies tomorrow, the temps will keep increasing until Wednesday. Tuesday, we are looking at cloudy skies with the temps being in high of mid-40s and low of high 20s. Wednesday will be sunny with the temps peaking high in high 50s and low in about 33 degrees. From Thursday, the temps will begin slightly decreasing again with partly cloudy skies reaching high in mid-50s and low in low 30s. Friday's morning will be cloudy and later sunny with similar temps to Wednesday and Thursday. On Saturday, slightly down more with rain showers with the temps ranging from low 30s to high 40s. We're expecting no more snow, but this time rain, so you should prepare an umbrella on your hand on these possible rainy days. That's your weather for the week. Bo and Becca, back to you.
Thanks, Junyuk. Eating disorders have been around since the 16th century, but research and awareness on them is fairly new. Even still, there is still a lot of stigma surrounding these diseases. DITV reporter Alexis Tansey got the chance to sit down with a UI freshman battling anorexia to clear up some of the stereotypes.
Freshman Alyssa Farrell has been in and out of recovery from anorexia for 4 years. But the road to recovery isn't easy.
Sometimes it does get hard, and sometimes I'm just like, this feels impossible.
To aid in her recovery process, Alyssa uses blogging and other social media as an outlet to tell her story.
She uses the hashtag #TodayIChoseRecovery to engage with others going through similar experiences.
A lot of posts, I made an Instagram post myself, and just reading through them, someone can just kind of talk about their story and talk about their experiences. And then not only is it like other people with eating disorders going through the same thing, struggling with the same thing, get to see like, oh, I'm not alone.
And she's not alone. Cedar Rapids counselor Brandis McFarland, who specializes in treating patients with eating disorders, is an anorexia survivor herself.
Once I recovered and was healthy and had my education and had worked with mental health, I knew that that was really an area that I wanted to go into.
McFarland would suggest to anybody struggling with an eating disorder to seek help, which is exactly what Alyssa is doing.
Now it's just about being able to take what I learn and doing that on my own.
Alyssa's battle against anorexia may not be over yet, but she is on the right track on the road to recovery. Reporting from Iowa City, Alexis Tansey, DITV News.
Thanks, Alexis. Well, Becca, it was a big weekend in Hawkeye sports. They were able to squeak in a couple games there before the weather hit on Saturday.
That's right, Bo. A bunch of teams competing all over the place. We have Will and Taylor in the sports studio with more on everything that went down. Guys?
Thanks, guys. Excited spring sports are getting into their seasons, but not all the winter sports are done yet.
That's right, Will. The Iowa women's gymnastics team competed at the Big Ten Championships in Champaign, Illinois. The Gym Hawks earned a season high and scored at the championship with a 196.4.
That season high score put the Gym Hawks in 4th overall place in the Big Ten, with Michigan taking the team title with a score of 197.2.
The NCAA selection show for women's gymnastics is today at 3 p.m., where they will find out the details of how their postseason will look.
And despite that winter weather this weekend, the Iowa baseball team managed to get in a doubleheader against number 11 Indiana on Friday.
In the second inning of the game, Indiana's Matt Lloyd helped IU take an early one-run lead with this home run out to left field. Iowa responded in the bottom of the third with a triple from Ben Norman that would lead to an RBI from Mitchell Bowe to tie it up at 1.
However, that would not be enough for Iowa as they fell in this game 4-2. In Game 2, Brady Samuel was on the mound for the Hawks and pitched 7 shutout innings against the Hoosiers.
In the bottom of the third, Robert Newstrom hit this double that was eventually brought in for the run by an RBI from Tyler Cropley.
The hot-hitting night for the Hawks continued in the bottom of the 6th with this home run from Chris Whalen. Iowa took the game over 11th ranked Hoosiers 5-1.
Tough loss in Game 1. Well-played game by both teams. They just, out-hit us. Basically, they were a little more offensive than we were. We left a couple chances out there, and we lose 4-2, but a well-played game. Allgaier pitched well. And then in Game 2, we jumped out and scored some runs early, and Brady was effectively wild throughout the course of the game, but, punched out a lot of guys. Tough for them to hit him today. Good fastball, he really struggled with his breaking ball, threw the changeup a little bit, but it was primarily fastball today. Went deep into the game, and then Zach Daniels closed it. Tyler Cropley really swung the bat extremely well in both games and had a great game. Robert had a pretty good game in game 2. Very, very happy with how our guys played. Didn't make an error on the day. 18 innings of really pretty well played baseball against a very good team.
Iowa will be back in Duane Banks this Wednesday to take on Bradley.
This past weekend, the softball team opened up Big Ten play against the Michigan Wolverines.
Game 1 of the series resulted in a Michigan win with a score of 4-1. To get things started in Game 2, Mackenzie Schneider sent a triple to the right center to bring Leah Thompson home.
During the 5th inning, Mallory Killian and Sarah Kurtz were sent home by a 2-run RBI by senior Allie Wood, making the score 4-1.
The Hawks broke the Wolverines' 17-game winning streak. The Hawks came out on top 4-3.
Biggest thing is us working on our strengths and knowing that our strengths are capable of beating a team like Michigan. The challenge is honing in on those weaknesses too during the week so they become less weak and more strong. And again, going into the game doing what we do and not being too concerned about them.
And the Hawks will be back in action this Tuesday at 2 p.m. with a doubleheader against UW Green Bay. The women's tennis team lost 6-1 to Ohio State in a Sunday matchup with the number 27 Ohio State Buckeyes.
Elise Van Hoevelen stayed in her match with the Ohio State number 1, despite dropping her first set 6-4, but could just not hold on.
In doubles, Van Hoevelen dropped a close match as well with her new partner Anastasia Reimchen, but kept the energy level high with points like this one. The Hawks were swept in every doubles set.
And despite her bellowing ground strokes, Zoe Douglas dropped a wild match 6-1, 0-6, and 7-6 to Ohio State, sealing the victory for the Buckeyes.
I know I get old saying we just got to keep learning, but I think we probably just have to continue to learn and think about that and not be satisfied. We're going into a really important stretch here, so we've got to really, this is disappointing, we got to pull ourselves back up and get ready for really difficult on the road, important Big Ten matches.
I love having my teammates on the sideline. Like, you always feel support, but when you have them all watching, you feel like extra support and you know that you can do it. So.
The team hits the road for the next month on a 5-match road trip before returning in late April with dates against Minnesota and Wisconsin.
On the men's side of tennis, the team fell to Minnesota in a tough Friday match.
The Hawkeyes dropped the doubles point to start the match despite impressive sequences like this one by the number 1 doubles team Kareem Alof and Jonas Larsson.
Then it was the energetic duo of freshmen Will Davies and Peter Smetana, proving why the Hawkeyes had a top 20 recruiting class with this point against the Minnesota 2 team. It was not enough as the number 5 Golden Gophers edged the Hawkeyes 4-3.
About the way the guys compete, the way the guys believe in, what we're trying to be about, which is we want to be great competitors, we want to be good teammates, we want to play with enthusiasm and play composed. I think we did all those things today, and unfortunately we didn't come out on top. I think we can play a little better in doubles. We got a slow start. That wasn't really like us, from what we've done in the past few matches in the season, but came back in singles and we fought back.
The Hawks return next weekend for conference battles against Illinois and Northwestern before squaring off Sunday afternoon with South Dakota State.
That's all we have for you today in the sports studio. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for a more in-depth look at Iowa baseball and softball. Guys, back to you.
That's a wrap on this Monday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out the excellent coverage of the print edition on newsstands now.
For all of us here at DITV, I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Bo Bowman. Have a good day, Iowa City, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time.